everybody, welcome back to another episode of something new. Welcome to Life is Feudal MMO, an absolutely huge and massive and incredibly in-depth survival game that we're going to be hopping into today. And if you guys want to go ahead and cop this game for yourselves, link at the top of the description to go ahead and download it for the low cost of free. And I want to say a huge thank you to Life is Feudal MMO does for actually sponsor this video and supporting the channel. But with that said, what is it that makes this game so crazy, so massive of a survival game? It's got terraforming and constructing where you can modify the world as you see fit, dig a tunnel, make a hill, build a house, a fortress, or even a freaking island. That is the amount of customization and just degree of freedom that the map contains. It's got a battle formation system where players have the option to fight alone or with friends, rich crafting system, realistic player damage system, full seasonal weather system with 5 distinct climates with different season lengths, all of which impact a player experience in meaningful ways, survival mechanics where death is a part of the medieval experience where you have to utilize the tools necessary to survive and escape the many dangers of the game, complex food and cooking systems, double health and stamina bars, one big, persistent, seamless world that contains an enormous map which takes hours to cross entirely. That is the sheer scale of this game, and the amount of people that can play all this is freaking crazy to boot because you need people to fill such a massive map, and that is where just the uniqueness and craziness of this game truly shines through. It also has private property and land claims where you can mark your territory so no other character can steal your land, protects what's yours from random looters or trespassers, and it even has mini games included which are in-game opportunities to perform daily resource routines whenever you want. So those are just some of the kind of more general massive things, big ticket items to talk about in regards to the game. But you guys didn't come here to talk. Y'all came here to experience some gameplay. So let's go ahead, let's dive in, and let's try and set out and create our very own little place in this massive world. Let's create a house and let's establish ourselves, shall we? And here we are, boys and girls, ladies and gentlemen, beginning our Life is Feudal MMO adventure. Well, actually, I did decide to begin a little bit. I did decide to travel inland here to try to get to some prime territory and to actually settle our house. If you guys take a little bit of a peek over here at the world map, over by some pretty crazy civilizations. So as soon as we're done building up our little home here and establishing a solid little food here to start with, or like a solid little food supply, because you guys can see our hunger down there, which is falling at a solid pace. So we do want to solidify that with hopefully some fishing over by the river. But I really like this location. It's really close to these awesome bases that hopefully we can ally ourselves with moving forward and potentially even join their guilds or something like that. But like I said, for now, we did travel actually all the way from inland. That was a hell of a trek, and we found some really cool things along the way. But this is where we are, so we must begin our adventure from here. I found ourselves a very nice, nifty little patch of trees that we are going to have to do some chopping on. You guys can see that massive fort up there. Hopefully we don't piss off the wrong people. And actually this road right here, which is pretty nifty, I'm pretty sure this is a road literally built by the people who occupy this space. I might be wrong on that, but dude, a lot of this game, the customization and like what you can do, just the sheer scale of it and what you're allowed to do is absolutely freaking nutty. You're literally allowed to terraform most, if not all, of the world and whatnot, and that's exactly, we're gonna try and make our own little mark on the world here with a home, which will serve as our respawn point. So let's go ahead and begin, shall we? So first things first, we might want to get a little bit of food here just in case. You guys can see if you right click over on the ground, what it will do is bring up this little menu where you can use different tools to try and do things here like plow, raise the ground level, which is used for like terraforming. But what I want to look for right now is a couple of edible objects. So as soon as this as soon as this meter right here is done filling up, it should let us know, not let us know, but it should pop up over in the surrounding area. We will have located some edible things such as mushrooms, taproot, and there you go, even some edible berries. So we can go ahead and collect these. There are mushrooms as well. However, mushrooms cannot be eaten right away. I'm guessing you have to cook something with them, because if you right click, it only lets you drop from inventory, but you guys can see the berries over here. We can go ahead and munch on them, and that should help out our hunger a solid little amount. A solid good old 5 right there. And we do have some sling ammo we picked up, and we do have some fried salmon that we actually did go ahead and spawn with, so we could go ahead and get that here to get our food kind of popping. And that gives us a whole ton of hunger, baby, which is good news. So let's just go ahead and gather a couple more of these for if and when we do get hungry, as we are building up our base going here. So let's go and try to gather some of these basic resources, basic materials that we are going to need to try and craft some things up. So for example, here you guys can see some undergrowth. We can actually go ahead and inspect this. So by inspecting things, it will actually tell us the quality of the area that we are collecting from. The higher quality means the higher quality things that we can actually collect from it, which will ultimately be good. You guys can see right here, it's right around 67 for the most part. So just go ahead and that was the same patch. That would make sense. But we can go ahead and gather the branch and also the bark, both of which will come in handy as we are moving forward. But let's go ahead, and we could cut it down as well if you would like, but you guys can actually click that little button right there, because you guys saw we just collected one branch right here. Boom, we are gonna start collecting infinitely until the branch supply does run out. So that is kind of nifty, but it did run out. So yeah, that was short-lived, but we could go ahead and do something a little bit similar over there for bark and set that to infinity. You guys can see that we do have this branch right there. You guys can see the quality, which is the star when we mouse on it, and we can even create primitive tools from this. So here you guys are seeing a lot of the options available to us. A lot of these tools are going to be very important moving forward, especially the fishing pole for fishing and ultimately trying to get some food. That's why I wanted to settle by a river, so that way, well, not by a river, but we're a short walk from the river, so that's really good. So that will actually let us do some fishing and whatnot, which is going to be huge. Snare traps and a couple other things we could do as well. The sling, so we can actually have a little bit of some ranged weaponry. But for now, let's go ahead and continue collecting. We are going to need some rocks to get the crucible and stick, but we're also going to be needing some flint. So if you guys don't know how to collect flint, what you should be able to look for is actually look for materials here. And flint, at least from what I've seen so far, should be one of the possible I can't English. Should be one of the possible items that can be dropped from this search. So when you do search, you can search. I can't English today. When you do search, you can search for different objects. And there you guys can see we got some sling ammo. And right there, we do have that flintstone. So that will be coming and handy there, laddies. So let's just go ahead and collect some of that sling ammo for hopefully when we get things popping. And let's just go ahead and try to get as many branches as we can on the lickety-splickety. Here we got that undergrowth. Is that the same undergrowth? I don't know. There we got the birch tree. We could chop that down. I'm just looking more for, honestly, we could just get some branches straight from the trees as well. So let's go ahead and begin that process. Sorry, you might hear some coughs because I've been having just like the worst cough ever, but you guys can see that they are different quality goods as you do pick them up. I think it depends on the item that you are picking from. So for example, the tree, or for example, the, not slot, but I guess square, quote-unquote square of dirt, that will affect what you get. So if we could just try and get a couple more branches, we're at a solid amount here. We could try and begin crafting up a couple of the major items. So an axe is going to be huge for the ability to chop down trees, which is what we want to actually build up our house moving forwards here. So hopefully this thing wraps on up rather quickly and take too long there. And there is other stuff as well in the form of a freaking skill tree. You guys can actually see that right here. You guys can see some of the different skills that we have. So for example, artisan, you guys can see 30, and as you do kind of do activities that partake with these skills, you will slowly actually level up the skills. So for example, we've been gathering some stuff from nature. You guys can see our nature's lore is slowly going up, and there is a whole ton of skills for you to go through. But this is just kind of like the crafting type of skills. There are also combat skills here, and just the amount of depth to this game is crazy, and I freaking love it, dude. It is dope. Oh, I need me one of them usable items. So you guys can also see movement is another one, and we do have this, which is just kind of an overview of our character. You guys can see our stamina, hit points, hunger, alignment, which is used for like religious rituals and stuff like that, and some of our stats down there, along with the only clothes we have on in the form of the rags. And then my name, Starsnipe Smith, not a member of any guild. I could create one, I could do a personal claim, and potentially even join one as well if anyone would want my bum booty. I don't know about that. I don't even know if I'd want my bum booty in a guild. I'd make my own guild and I'd kick myself out of it. But, alright, back on topic. Let's try and knock out some of these kind of more important items. The hammer will also be pretty good moving forward. We do have a good amount of flint to be doing that with. We got the knife over there, which I'm kind of tempted to do something with. The pick, which will be good for mining and hitting stone. And the saw, which is going to be necessary to actually saw up the trees once we do chop them down. So we need to get a little bit more plant fiber and a little bit more flint to make that happen. So just go ahead and do that. There you can see the game is even letting us know how to do construction. Sorry, game. I already know. No need to worry about me. All I want to look for now is any more flint pop up nearby. Is this flint? Yeah, that is a flint, laddie. And then we got to look for plant fiber as well, which should come in the form of kind of like little bushes that we can collect from. Unless we got to search. Oh, no, there it is. That's what it looks like right there. So we got 2 plant fiber out of that. Probably just going to want to look around for similar things to that. Like, all right, heather, looking like a short little green shrub. Something along those lines, and grab a little bit more from right there. And these are all going to be materials not just for the tools, but also stuff that we are going to need for whatchamacallit, to craft up our house when that time comes. But let's also get some of that sling ammo popping. Might as well pick it up. One in Rome, am I right? And then we could go ahead and get a little bit of that plant fiber as well, and let's try and craft up. Ooh, you can hear the words often uttered by an old man. You and us on the all of yon business is most fascinating, but you might consider doing something worthy for once, me good lad. Alright, well, apparently I just remembered some wise words from some wise old man, so I'll take those into account. But anyways, now that we do have a little bit more on the resources side, this should come in rather handy when it comes to crafting. We are going to also want to get a mortar and pestle and a primitive cooking pot as well, I'm pretty sure, along with constructing a campfire. Those should be pretty good moving forward, but let's get that. Oh, we need even more flint. God dang it! God dang it, Bobby. Is this flint? No, that's sling ammo. We might, maybe here. Ooh, that's a tree? Oh, it's probably been chopped down. That would make sense. Let's try to find a little bit of flint out here. Hopefully no one pays too much attention to me. I would like to stay a little bit low-key and not get murked by some dude who's like, hey, stay away from my lands. And I'd be like, awkward. And after a little bit more gathering, we do have one more flintstone here that I do want to go ahead and oh, that's a lot. Actually, never mind. I didn't see all that flintstone up there. Whoa, me likey what I see. Let's go ahead and grab some of these. But then we should be able to actually start equipping some of our tools, putting them on our person, and putting them to use. We can also use them as impromptu weapons, so should the need arise. But I don't know. I don't see anything too aggressive nearby, so I'll keep my hopes up that hopefully people are going to be nice people. Now then, let's go ahead and nope, come on, hit that. There you go. Hit the inventory and let's go and finish up that saw and get that thing crafted up. A shovel will probably come in pretty handy as well, because that will be how we can actually level out the ground, which is something that we're gonna have to do to build up our first base here. So let's need another branch real quick. Let's get another branch real quick. Can I pick it from you, a mine tree? Because that's another thing. You do want to actually collect all the stuff from a tree before you do begin actually chopping it down, just because you don't want to lose out on that potentially. So that's exactly what I'm going to be doing here. So it's a bit of a double whammy. We're getting everything we can. It's like using each part of a buffalo, like the Native Americans did. That is me. I am a native of this land, and that's exactly what I will be doing here. Except with trees instead of buffalo. Close enough, dude. They're like somewhat related or something like that. Maybe? I don't know. Come on. There we go. Let's get that thing popped up. And let's go ahead. And what was the last thing I wanted? One primitive shovel. Go ahead and whip that puppy up. And we might be needing other tools, but those are the main ones for what we are setting out to do here and establishing our own home. We're already down to 53 stamina, so more food will definitely be useful. So we're definitely going to want to get that fishing rod. Did I craft all the fishing rod yet, actually? Mr. Fishing Rod, have you been crafted yet? I don't think that I have, but this is a perfect opportunity. Let's go ahead and get our character screen. You guys can see we do have 4 slots over here that we should be able to drag, and equip our stuff on our character. But the problem is when we do equip it, our weight does go up and our speed will go down a little bit. So you do want to don't want to equip too much unless you have to. But we do have our primitive axe, which will be perfect for this. And per schnaps, we'll go ahead and equip the saw too. Just kind of have a couple of tools here, couple of tools there. The hammer should come. I forget exactly what the hammer is useful for, but I know that it's going to be. It might be for actually building the thing up. Now that I think about it, but that taproot should have got us a little bit more food. I don't think I can eat the bark, and we do still have some sling ammo over there. Let's go ahead, close those puppies out, and let's begin. Well, actually, before we begin, while we're doing that, let's actually get that fishing pole popping as well. I thought I produced one. Apparently, I didn't, because we're definitely going to want to do a field trip down to the river here in a bit. Hopefully, we can get this house finished before that field trip, and then maybe when we do go down the river, I can show you guys some of those awesome bases as well. But I definitely just want to get this base established so we have a point to call home and a point to respawn at, and even a point to teleport at, which is going to be pretty useful because you can actually use a certain spell. Not really spell, but it's like a certain religion type of thing. It's actually number 8 there on the keyboard. If you look at the bottom, I'm pretty sure that will teleport us back to our house. I think we might lose some items in the process, except for like the equipped ones, but regardless, it is time to get to chopping, except psych. That's not how you do it. You almost had you there. No, you actually do want to right click on it. You do have the option to chop this puppy down again. Want to put that puppy on infinite, and you want to get over into the chopping process. So we don't actually need these. Well, I'm not 100% sure if we need them equipped to do their actions or if we just need them in our inventory, but I'd rather just play it safe. Better safe than sorry, even though our only sorriness would be like losing out on probably like 5 seconds of our life. I could do with that. But here you guys can see the softwood log that has fallen. If we right click on it, you guys can see that we can actually lift this object if we want. We can carry it around a little bit. We just got this thing chilling on our back. But let's just go ahead and drop that, and let's just place it right there. Oh no, it is blocking the thing. We probably want to put it a little bit this way. So let's just go ahead and I haven't actually picked. Oh, there we go. It's a little bit too far into the ground. Go ahead and place that puppy right there. So that's how you can move your resources around a little bit if you are interested in that. But what I am interested in right now is inspecting this. This will give us some more information. You guys can see that its quality isn't super good, and it has 80 wood. So that's like, how much wood are we gonna need? Well, here's the thing. Different amount of wood, let us make a different amount of things. We're gonna be needing, for what we're trying to build, you guys can see, the 3 main things that we can build. What we're going to want to do is actually build something simple construction. We want to make a small residential home, a little tiny shack. For that, we need 5 boards, 15 billets, and 20 plant fiber, and some flattened out land. So we're going to try and potentially, after we get all this stuff in our inventory, maybe even move to find a slightly flatter area than this patch. Maybe even closer to the water too. Maybe a little double whammy. But we do want to saw out 15 billets and 10 boards. I'm pretty sure a billet does take, well, we can actually begin the sawing process here. I'm pretty sure a billet takes 10 wood out of the wood health, which is what we just saw there, which was the 80 or 90 or whatever. And then as soon as this is done, that billet should come into our inventory. I'll actually only saw once, just to kind of show you guys what I'm talking about here. But there you go. You guys can see we do have a softwood billet. And if we take a peek over here at this thing, inspect it again, you guys can see that it's it has dropped by, I want to say 10, but I'm not 100%. It might have been at 90 when I started. I'm gonna go ahead and keep sawing this stuff out and talk to y'all as soon as we're done. And there you have it. We have just used up all the wood that was available in that thing. You can see it disappears shortly after that, and we do have 8 of those softwood billets that we are going to be requiring. And just double check here what we're gonna need for the construction. If we head on over to residential, yeah. So when it comes to building, it does just say billets, but here's the thing: there are actually 2 different types of billets in the game. There are softwood billets and there are hardwood billets to my knowledge, so potentially this might just mean any type of billets in general, and the billets that we did chop down is good, and actually these are the ones that we need. So that would actually be great in that case. I'm just not 100% sure, but I guess we will find out as we do move forward. But we are going to need still 7 more billets compared to what we got, and we do need to get boards, which are going to be a tad bit more expensive compared to billets. So let's just actually try and find a relatively good tree, because the higher quality tree that it is. And also we want to look for major birch trees compared to minor trees. Major trees are more fully grown and will yield more wood when we do chop them down, like here, a major birch tree. However, its quality is rather poopy. Ooh, actually, this aspen tree that we just inspected, 74 quality, dude. Yo, hello, aspen tree. Could I potentially invite you to a little bit of a date with me? All right, so here's the thing. This tree is ridiculously good. We're going to go ahead. We're going to get all the branches and all the bark from this, and then we'll begin the chop down process. I will show you guys just how much quality and the type of tree it is, how much that matters when it comes to the wood output. Dude, this is going to be dope. And timber, down she goes, and we can head on over here to the softwood log to see this, and you guys can see 400 wood on this puppy. Great quality on it too. That right there is what we are looking for. But here's the thing, now we are going to want to saw out these boards. So just go ahead and saw one of these guys, and I'll show you that they are a little bit more intensive when it does come out to the amount of wood that they take out of the logs. And with that thing being chopped out, you guys can see that we do have that one log in our inventory, a little bit heavier as well, which is slightly spooky. But now if we inspect this thing, you will see that it did take, ooh, only 20 wood actually. All right, well, I will take that. Instead of bank, I was thinking of building logs. Those things are definitely a little bit more intensive, all things considered. But with all of that taken into account, let's just go ahead and recap really quickly what we are going to be needing here. If we go to simple construction and the tiny shack, we are going to need 4 more of those boards and 7 more billets. So that's exactly what we, and 20 plant fiber. Do we have a 20 plant fiber at the moment? We're pretty close. So we got, what is that? We can just combine all of these things right here real quick, and we're down to 17, so we're gonna need to grab a couple more. But all things considered, we are on great pace here to build our very own humble abode, and god dang it, am I excited about it. But anyways, we'll leave this here, because that should have more than enough wood for what we're going to need. And that little timer, I think, is just the amount of time that it's unique to us, and then someone else can come along and potentially take from it. Yeah, but we're looking relatively good here, so nothing too awful. But then if I go ahead, and wrong button, if I go ahead and hit F3, you guys can actually see this little thing here that starts popping up, which will actually be kind of the different levels of where we live. So this, what we're seeing right here, is the levels. These numbers on the ground, this is the level of the ground. Each value is like a different, pretty much a different height that the ground is at. So what we want to look for is we need to make our ground as flat as possible. We need to make it as even as possible. If that is accomplished well, then all will be good and we'll be able to build. However, if it isn't, that's a different story. So here's what we can do. You guys can see this red square. That means it's occupied / blocked. I think it's blocked by this birch tree right here, just kind of like that little stump. We should be able to uproot that, however. No, we can't. We do need a shovel, which we should have in our inventory. So, oh no, did we not craft the shovel yet? Never mind. One shovel coming right up, ladies and gentlemen. A primitive shovel, marvelous. And we have the perfect amount of fiber after picking that bush. Look at the perfection of this stuff. But then we can use the shovel to get dirt, and then we can use that dirt because when we can dig out of here, hold on, do we need to equip it though? I guess it's a good time to find out. Okay, so I think that we do need to equip it. Where has the shovel? There you are, shovel. Let's go ahead and toss you over on our hip there. Yeah, come on, shovel. Oh, can I only put you over the shoulder? That's okay. We don't really need to chop anything down. There we go. I just wasn't clicking on it. That was the thing. Let's go ahead and unequip that thing, and then we'll put the shovel in its place and begin using the shovel for our adventure. And all right, let's go ahead and hit F3 so we can get these numbers back, and we're going to be looking for a 4x4 space up here. I think this could actually be a nice little area. Now that I think about it, we're going to need it to be around 4x4, and you guys can see some of the different numbers, 38.6, 39.3, 39.3, 39.2. So we're going to want to average this out a little bit. We want to take dirt over here from the highlands and bring it to the low, so we can go ahead and lower the ground level a little bit. So I'm going to start flattening this place out, but I do want to show you guys really quickly what happens. So the number right there will go down. about 0.1, and when it does, you guys can see we have actually acquired 30 forest soil. So what I'm going to be doing throughout this is actually slowly kind of using that, taken from the high, and then we can actually raise the ground level using that exact same soil. And this is that awesome terraforming aspect that I was talking about, how you can literally shape the world. Dude, it's freaking epic. But I'll go ahead and start doing that and talk to you when we got a little bit more of a flat land to mess around with. And once you do get everything down to this 38.2 into a similar level, there's one last thing you need to do, which is actually transform these things into quote-unquote green blocks, which is actually going to be done by right-clicking on over here, and you want to do the flatten ground. What that will do is kind of like, you can see like this slope right here, it's like part of the block, but it's not necessarily flat, even though it's at the same level. Flatten ground, just go ahead and flatten everything out for us, and here we have it in the 4x4 fashion that we are going to be needing, which is absolutely perfect for all intents and purposes. I went ahead and I equipped the primitive hammer, which is something we are going to need to go ahead and build our humble home here. And then what I'm going to do is click on build right there. Let's go to that simple construction. Let's go to residential for the final time and click build. And then what we can do is shift this thing around, and you can see if all is well, you will get those like green, not dots, but you'll get like kind of the green zone, and everything there is green. We can hit that build button, and our house should be freaking golden, boys and girls. I'm so excited. See, here's the thing though, when it is done building, as you guys are going to see here in just a sec, it's not going to magically build the entire house. Instead, what it will do is build a little bit of an outline for the house, the tiny shack. And what we have to do is actually drag stuff over to this beloved little shack. Luckily for us, we got 20 plant fibers right there. That's where you want to put in the resources, and also some billets over here that you can hit add resources. And what this will allow you to do is actually kind of like in parts add on to the construction of the building, or you can just wait until you have everything and just toss it in there. Either or you do it, it's your choice, but I just want to show you guys what it's like. And you guys can see that if we click on build construction again, we're at 8 billets, and we can go ahead and toss that board in there. I'm just gonna go saw out 4 more boards and 7 billets, which I am about to go do. And after that, boys and girls, we're gonna have our very own house overlooking this area by the river, by some epic freaking fortress. Look at the mini map right there, boys and girls. If this ain't prime real estate on, what is this, a freaking private island, then I don't know. All right, so let's get to capitalizing. Let's get all that we can out of this wooden log, and let's finally have a place to call our own. And as we are gonna go ahead and saw out the last of the builds that we need, I did want to look at this right here. Look at our skills slowly but surely going up in carpentry. Right there, you guys saw it go up, and you might be thinking, why ain't it going up so much? Well, there's actually a very specific reason, and as soon as we go ahead and start building this house, just so we can kind of multitask, there we go. Let's drop the rest of those. Probably one too many. That's all right. Let's go ahead and click that build button. But the reason for that, if you go to our character screen, you guys can see the food quality, which I think averages out the last like X amount of food items that you've eaten, and depending on the quality of those items, that is actually the multiplier that will affect how much experience you get for your actions. But right now, I don't care about experience. What I care about is my very own home. Look at this puppy right here. Oh, marvelous. Oh, marvelous. I have a place to call my own, and we can go ahead and inspect it to see just how it's looking like. It's got 4,600 durability and 50 damage resistance, so that's rather nice. But what we want to do is claim this as our home. You guys can see our guy does a quick little prayer, and what happens now that this has been claimed is anytime we want, we can go ahead and hit that 8 button. Are you sure you want to pray for homecoming? The gods will return you home along with everything you've equipped, but all items carried will be left behind. It allows us to use that ability, and anytime we die, we will respawn over here in our little shack. So this humble abode is finally ours. And oh, mama, you guys see that? Got like a massive fire going in the distance. I wonder if that place is under attack, because this ain't just building or whatnot. There are battles of epic proportions, attacks, wars between guilds that can happen. Plenty of epicness. But right now, I'm just happy that we got a nice little... God, I'm just happy that we got a nice little home here, dude. It just feels good, man, to have something of your own to have worked for, and right there, that's exactly what we got. Let's try and get a nice little view of this thing. Look at that little hut with the epic castle in the background and the marvelous graphics. I did have to turn down the graphics just a tad bit though, because I am recording as well, but the game can get even more beautiful than this. If you guys look on over the video, I'm playing on high. Oh mama, there's still ultra and even custom if you want to take it to that next level. But with everything said and done, with a little home to go ahead and call our own, I say it's time that we go and try to figure out the food situation. Try and get some fishies down there. So I'm gonna go ahead and venture down to the shore, which should take just a little while. But while this is happening, I did want to show you guys the awesomeness that is around here. You guys can see what appears to be some sort of like shrouded civilization over there across the river. You can see like the way I'm pointing right now, that's some sort of civilization over there. You guys can see something over there right by the shore as well. We got this awesome dude over there building this stuff. A fire over by the mill over there that's kind of hard to see, but you can definitely make out. I do wonder, where is that fire going on? I want to say it's probably like over there-ish, if our dude wants to stop. No, this game just really wants us to refocus, but right around there, I believe. Not where my mouse is, but what's in the middle of the map. I think that is where oh, there we go. Now it's not moving back. I think that is where that thing is happening. But here is where another marvelous, another wonderful thing is happening, which will be the ability to fish. Now, all that we need to fish, I believe, is just a little bit of a body of water. Let's go ahead and stop auto running. You guys can actually auto run if you hit num lock, and then caps lock will alternate between walking and running, which uses different amounts of stamina and that type of jazz. But you guys can see here that we can actually fish in this little pond. I just want to get a little bit of the fish. Ooh, first things first, we got to make sure to actually equip the fishing rod. So let's do that. It can't go over there, it has to go over the back. So let's do exactly that. Take the shovel off of there and instead put our beloved fishing rod right there and try to get some of these things. And we could probably even build a campfire over here as well and then fuel that with billets. But now the time has come for the fish. Alright, we've been fishing for a little while here and we still haven't gotten anything, so per snaps we'll go ahead and actually try and mix things up a little bit, and maybe the game's just like, no puddle fish for you. Maybe we have to go and do the real fish. All right, guys and gals, and after moving into the water a little bit closer, we are fishing, which is good. However, I'm a little bit worried because I thought maybe those were just, I didn't know what that was, but it looks like there are people swimming towards us. They look pretty naked. That's the good news. The bad news, I don't want them to devour me and eat me and stuff. Like, I don't know, they might be cannibals. I'm just over here trying to be a lonely fisherman. All right, trying to catch me some goddamn fish. You guys can see our skill going up. I'd also move into the water a little bit, but I don't know what these dudes are doing. They appear to be going away from me, which is good news. Hopefully they don't try and come back, because I just want me a dang fish to cook up, Bobby, so I can try and get a good dinner up in here. But I think they are trying to ford the river, and that might involve them coming over to me, which I don't know how to feel about this. We might need to engage in some combat here, and I have like a very empty tummy, so I don't know how great I feel about that. There's like eyeing me from over there. Y'all seeing this? Maybe they're talking in local chat? No? Yeah, I don't know what they're up to, and it's spooky. I don't like spooky things. I like fish. Can I get some of those, please, instead of these tragic occurrences happening here in the form of those things over hither? Are they trying to be sneaky deaky? Are they like ignoring me? Hopefully they're ignoring me. I would enjoy this. I think that they are. I think they're trying to walk away from me. I don't know. Maybe they're going on some sort of expedition, some sort of adventure, but the fishing continues. So it does appear that they have managed to get up here. I think you guys can see that they've managed to get up onto the shore. Hopefully they don't come and flank us or anything. I have started fishing out a little bit deeper into the lands. I can show you guys what I'm talking about here in just a sec if you want to see what I'm talking about. You guys can actually right click and you guys can see that little green dot that actually affects where we will be doing our action. So I've just been trying to cast my stuff out a little bit further, trying to diversify where I am doing my fishing, and hopefully we can freaking get some of this food in our tummy, and hopefully, I mean, them two. Oh, does that man have a horse? Where did he get that horse from? Did he pull that out of his pocket? I don't know, but he's off and he's riding. That he is. What happened to his partner? I don't know. I am beyond bamboozled at the moment. Please leave. Oh, was that second one? Was that a second horse I just saw? Dude, what in tarnation is going on? All right, guys and gals, we've yet to catch a fish, so we will make this our final attempt because our tummy is starting to grumble a little bit, and I think I know what might be affecting our attempts here, so maybe cross our fingers and hopefully this will be what changes. Nope, this is not what changes it, but that's okay. So what I think that we have to go out and do, which I think will be our current goal here, is we want to go out and actually make a higher quality fishing pole, because all the tools that we craft, which the quality of which is determined by the skills corresponding to them, but also the whatchamacallit, like the things that we put into it, so like the quality of the branches, for example, and whatnot. We want to try and get like some high quality versions of those for the crafts, because then we can craft higher quality tools, which will then be more effective, because right now I just think that this fishing pole is not doing the trick, because if we do look at its durability, it is a measly, I think, 18 or so, so we do have some pretty nice branches there. And what else do we need? I think we need a plant fiber too. I don't know if we need a flint or not, but I think that that will be the current thing that we do set out to do. But in the meantime, I'm gonna go ahead and get a little bit of food, and what I was going to do, I guess I could still show you guys right here real quick, is actually create, and we could go to a campfire, which we could go ahead and craft it up, and then we could have put something, but at the very least, let's go ahead and plop that puppy down, build it up really quickly for the sake of science, to show you just how it works. What we could have done is tossed a billet in there, activated the fire. Oh, we got to create it, do we? All right, there we go. We got to toss the branches over hither. Let's get the 5 that we need. Let's build that puppy. We don't need a hammer to build this. As you guys are seeing, we are building it with our bare hands. Or at least I think we're building it with our bare hands. It's a different action compared to the house when we are building it. So depending on the material or the thing that we are trying to build, it might take different things. I heard noises, which are kind of spooking me out. Hopefully I don't get too spooked. But then we can inspect the campfires to see just how it was. 9,000 durability. Aw. I wish it was over 9,000. But then what we can do is actually add some fuel, and we could have used it to then cook our fish. Billets are an acceptable form of fuel. We can put up to 50 pounds of fuel into there, but then we could have lighted the puppy, and we could have prepared some food. And here you guys can see all the different types of foods. We could have prepared different types of fish, even codfish, herring, salmon, trout. We could have even gotten other stuff. We could even boil water over here if we get our hands on some snow, and just tons of things that unfortunately are handicapped currently by the fact that our fishing pole is rather lackluster. But with that, there's a great point for us to go ahead and end off episode 1 of our Life is Feudal adventure. If you guys want me to post more, if you want this series to continue, make sure to like button and let me know in that comment section down below. And remind again to go and download Life is Feudal MMO, the massive and absolutely crazy survival game for the low cost of free through that link at the top of the description. So make sure to go ahead and do that right there. And I want to say huge thank you again to Life is Feudal MMO devs for sponsoring this video and supporting the channel, and hopefully showing you guys a game that you will love, because just the amount of depth to this game, the sheer scale of it, I'm not sure I've shown this off yet, but that's a very big map, and you guys can see all the different buildings as we do go through the map here, and oh my god, the scale of it is crazy. But that's gonna go and wrap it up for this episode of Life is Feudal. Thank you guys a whole ton for watching. Have yourselves a fantastic day, and I'll talk to you in the next one. See ya.